You're listening to Coach Talk with your host, Coach Aisha and friends, who offers personal development coaching and advice to get you from where you are in your life, business, and career to where you want to be. Here's your host, Coach Aisha.
All right, peace and greetings to all. Welcome to Coach Talk. I'm your host, Coach Aisha. If this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. You can find all of today's show notes at www.coachtalkshow.com. Be sure to add us on social media as well. All social media links can be found in the show notes. So let's get started. Today's friend of the show is Anita Powell. Anita is the mother of twin daughters and a grandmother of 5. She is a life coach, speaker, teacher, massage and Reiki practitioner, and the creator of N2U treasure mapping. After 19 years working with the Michigan Department of Corrections in 1998, she left to help care for her grandfather. And unknown to her, she was also on a journey of self-discovery and acceptance, a necessary experience that will lead her to share with others in their own quest for self-discovery and acceptance. Anita aspires to inspire by teaching, as in her name, and now I have taught another. Today, Anita will share her experience with us, how to tap into you, and live life in harmony. All right, Anita, welcome to Coach Talk. How are you?
Thank you, Coach. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me this evening. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Thank you for joining me here on Coach Talk. I really do appreciate it, Anita. So I know that you are a life coach and you're a speaker and teacher. You are a massage Reiki practitioner, and you are the creator of N2U treasure mapping. And I think that is fantastic. So can you just tell us a little bit about what it is that you want to share with us today?
Okay. Well, I'd like to talk about the N2U treasure mapping, the tool. It's a phenomenal tool. I love it. It's a simplistic approach to a very powerful application of self-discovery, of validating your vision, of clarifying your creativity, and also this evening, I'd like to discuss the self-discovery and acceptance. That's my area as far as in life coaching, and I chose that area because it's one of my experiences. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's been something with me, and my position is, what better service can I be of people than to give them me?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's, went into the self-discovery. And at first it was self-discovery. I said, okay, I'm a self-discovery life coach. But then as I went into it, and thank you, because a lot of where I am today and at this particular moment is because once I enrolled into your course. I can't begin to express how much I've discovered about myself in such this short period of time. It's really something else.
That is wonderful.
Yes, and the acceptance came in later because I was doing the self-discovery and I was doing, okay, self-discovery, and then one time I was thinking, I said, you know what, something had happened, and I allowed it because, we're responsible, for what we do and what we allow in our lives, and I was thinking about, something happened. I didn't really care for it. And then it dawned on me. I said, you know what? You accepted it. So, and then I started thinking about me. I said, wow, you know what? There's a lot. You're going into the self-discovery aspect of life. You need to address the acceptance. You need to accept you. So I learned that I had not accepted who I am. The mask. I accepted the mask, what I portrayed to the outer world. I actually started believing that mask that I put out there was the real me.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. That's beautiful. And it just goes to show that, it doesn't matter how old you are, where you are in life, that self discovery, it can be something that needs to be really looked at, no matter like where you are in your life. People sometimes we think that, we know what we are, or we know our purpose until something happens, or you come across a course, or you come across
Hmm.
a speaker, or something, and you realize that you really don't know who you are. And so,
Absolutely.
right. And so here, you have self discovery, and self discovery is beautiful. And so self discovery is beautiful. Live life your way. Tell me, what does that mean?
Okay, yes, the self-discovery is beautiful, and then another component to that self-discovery is beautiful, and so are you on the inside. And then the live life your way is to represent the life. You know what I mean? The life represents our love, our imagination, our faith, our expression. And we're not able to do that if we don't know who we are. What
Mm,
am I love? How can I serve in how I love? How can I serve in how I imagine? How broad is my imagination? How much
mm-hmm.
do I dream? How have I nurtured my mental stimulation? As my faith, what do I believe in? Do I believe in me, in what I know about me, if I know? You know what I mean? Or even
Right.
your source. What faith do I have? And then my expression. What are my natural talents? I know my skills because those were taught. Those were taught throughout the continuum of life. I know how to type. I know how to do certain things, being an organizer. I know for 19 years that I was an executive secretary. I know those skills. What about my natural talents? What
Mm-hmm.
do I know about those? So that's what I mean as far as the live life, L-I-F-E, your love, your imagination, your faith, your expression, your way. You know what I mean? Because I really, and then once with that particular thing, I do believe that, the living life your way, it's once we discover who we are, then I really believe that then that's when we're reunited with our intimate calling.
Mm-hmm.
You
Definitely.
know what I mean? Yeah, we have to know, what is my love? What do
Mm-hmm.
I imagine? What is my faith? Okay, how do I express myself? All
Mm-hmm.
of those things, and that's the life. And that's what I mean by living it your way. Once you
Right.
discover it your way.
So speaking about that now, life, because when I view, when I look at your website and I view your material, I see you have life as an acronym. What does life mean?
Life, that life, the L represents love, the I represents imagination, the F represents faith, and the E represents expression. Once
Wow, I
we
love that.
once we do and know these things about ourselves, and see, for me, it's I really believe that we came here to assist, assist and serve one another.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just recently, I mean, even just a couple of days ago, it dawned on me, yeah, but you got to love and serve yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
How
That's
do I,
powerful.
you see, yeah, how do I love myself? My mother has shared something with me years ago. My daughters, I have twins, they're 37 now.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was the most selfish thing she said. They were babies. She said, Angel, she said, she said, you are going to have to love yourself more than you love anyone in order to do things. And I said, Mom, I think that's the most selfish thing I ever heard in my life. And I walked in, we
Wow.
were on the bed in my bedroom, and it was dark, and we were just sitting next to each other. And she said, I want to share something with you. And I walked away. And I was
Mm-hmm.
21, because I was 21 when my daughters were born.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until my daughters became adults that I go to my mother. I said, Mama, I said, thank you. I know exactly what you were trying to share with me. You
Mm-hmm.
have to love and appreciate you. I don't care what anybody says. We can say, what I'm doing this, and I'm serving this person, I'm serving this person, I'm serving this person. If we're doing that and we're not valuing and loving and serving ourselves, we're being martyrs. And there is an ulterior motive behind that. It is not unconditional.
Definitely. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's the whole thing with the life, the tapping into us, teach, that life, live life and that's so important, the life part, because that's what we're here living. You know what I mean? The life. And then that's what that simply means, making it personal, making it intimate.
So what are some of the common misconceptions that people have about living life their way?
For me, again, doing my experience, for me, it's a misconception that I may not be good enough, a misconception that I don't know what my vision is, so I'm going to keep it to myself because I don't anybody to know that I'm screwed up. And again, I'm saying this only out of experience because I've done that. I mean, I'm 58 years of age, and I'm going to share as far as I believe the journey began 16 years ago, but up to this point, I've gone to the seminars and I've been very motivated, stellar seminars, and really motivated and excited, only to come home to realize I don't know what I want, only to do vision boards and look at the vision board and say, "Ooh, wait, look how confused you are," as far as not knowing. The not knowing what my vision is or what I want to do in life. I had kept that a secret until, again, enrolling in your class, and I started talking with women, specifically about 45 years of age, and I would hear them say, "You know what, I really don't know what I want to do." I'm like, wow, this is prevalent. I thought this was like a minority. And then I was sharing, as far as the vision boards, I had vision boards. I would look, do the vision board, only to look at the vision board, and that was confirmation how confused I was.
Wow.
Because the vision board didn't make sense.
Right, exactly.
A bunch of stuff on there. It was a bunch of this, I want this, I want that, I want this. And a lot of it, too, it was for the outer, and that's where the treasure mapping comes in. The treasure map is a wonderful prelude to actual vision board.
Okay. So do you teach people how to make a proper vision board for themselves?
I do. I hope tap into your treasure mapping where and it's yep. And it's one of those you reach within the vision boarding. You're looking outside yourself with the magazines to get things to place on the board. The tap into your treasure map specifically, you're reaching within yourself. Out to put on that paper, and then once it's done, it's your prayer portrait.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the tap into you treasure mapping. All right, I like that. And you have that's a workshop. You have a workshop for that, correct?
I do. I do. Yeah, I didn't like going into the elementary school. So that's one thing. That's one thing about being reunited with our intimate calling. I ask myself and even just people, what is it that you wanted to do as a child? I know I go into these elementary schools and I'll do the treasure mapping with them where I just have them say, okay, well, you draw the tools you may need to do what what you need to get where you want to go. But children, you ask them all day long, what do you want to be in a heartbeat? They know exactly what they want to do because they're closer in consciousness to the Creator. As we grow older, and even I was just thinking about that, Coach. I was just thinking about that at the train ride yesterday. I was thinking, I said, I would share with people, it's more like it's like rediscovering who you are, that kind of thing. I said, the continuum of life, we kind of forget and we go aside from it and do things that we need to do, like pay the bills or whatever, and we kind of abandon it. And I thought to myself, no, we don't. I said, when we go through life, those are the ingredients so that once we reunite with our intimate calling, all of that, like an alchemist, all of that has been blended together. All of those multi-ingredients has been preparing to make room for the one.
Right,
being
exactly.
With the intimate calling. That just came to me. It just dawned on me yesterday. I said, no, that's not a mistake to go. I did 19 years in Michigan Department of Corrections. That's exactly where I was supposed to go.
Exactly.
In order to get to this point here.
That's just amazing. So I definitely, I can relate to you. Definitely, I can relate to you with that. With that, my own personal story. You know, I've been there. You know, where I didn't know what it is I wanted to do. I was, oh my goodness. You know, I mean, I spent years. First of all, I went to school to be, I got my bachelor's and received my bachelor's in computer information systems only because I am really good with computers and I am really good with programming and things like that. But that wasn't my passion. I only did it because I was so good at it and everybody felt like, you know, hey, Aisha, you are fantastic with this. You know how much money is in the IT world, you know, so I spent 4 years in school getting my degree. And, you know, this was not what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to do, which at the time I wanted to be a therapist, you know, but by the time I got finished with my degree, it was like, okay, I can go back to school to be a therapist, but I couldn't afford it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to live my dreams and do what it is that I wanted to do? You know, but before I realized what I wanted to do in terms of helping people, I had to go through a process. You know, I had to go through a process of self-discovery to really figure out what it was that I wanted to do. And so I definitely, I get it. I get it. So let me ask you, so
beautiful, Cole. That's you. And see, look how you on your online, your institute. It's online. I should have known that though, because that's dynamic. Your instruments and your material, the organization of your. Oh my goodness! I mean, it's like I was like, this is together here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So let me ask you now. Okay, so self-discovery, right? So my question to you is, what are the steps that someone can take? What are the steps that our listeners can take to begin to accomplish this in order to be successful with self-discovery?
Okay, I would say, you know, again, the first-hand personal knowledge. I didn't start it this way, but I would say start with tapping into yourself. Get that piece of paper, that construction paper, get that crayon or that pencil or that marker. Try to become the little girl. That mindset, and just start drawing. Being free, and because that right there will let you know if you are liberated enough to be able to let go. Because that's the first letting go. You've got, and that will be, if you're not able to let go, then that's your first step in discovery. Okay, and that's okay. Okay, I've learned that I need to learn how to let go. That's a beautiful thing.
I like that. I think I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to do that. No, that really just woke me up. Like, sometimes, you know, that how, you know, you, even in a coaching session, right? And you try to get someone to tell you their vision. They can still be holding back. And if you just let go and be free and just write without thinking and without judging yourself.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you just, I love that. Okay. So that's the first step.
That's the first step. And then once you're able to get past that, then you ask yourself, okay, is my creativity clarified? Is my vision clarified? Is it clarified? We have to clarify to clear it up first. You know what I mean? We have to clear, and the steps that I've used. First, to me, you have to see it. You have to clarify it. And then after you clarify it, then you have to validate it. You got to believe it. It's the old thing, Jesse Jackson. See it, believe it, achieve it. It's in that order.
Mm-hmm.
We have to see it first, and then again, we have to be free enough to see it. You know what I mean? We have to go outside of those limitations that we've thought that's been so ingrained in our thinking.
Mm-hmm. So let me just to clarify, when they draw, or when they begin to draw, what are they drawing? They're drawing exactly like what it is that they want out of life in life.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What I do, I have people start out drawing a stick figure. The stick figure, because it's one of a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't know how to draw." It's not about the drawing. It's not about the drawing. It's the treasure mapping. You just draw a stick figure, and for me, I always draw a stick figure with that you're smiling, kind of thing, And then I've done about, I don't know how many. Like for instance, okay, when I was working on the master piece in the class. Well, one of the treasure mapping on the right hand side, I put in a box. I wanted to get A, I wanted to get X, I wanted to see that word excellent. And I put inside there the master niche thing, and I put it on the right side, and I put it in green. Okay, that's okay. When I got my things back from you, I saw the word excellent, and you gave me A+. That's what I'm talking as far as treasure mapping. And then you just put it up. But you start off, and the stars were like little stars. The first one that I think I did, I went back. I started back first. I started back when I was a teenager or something. I said, okay, what is it that I wanted to do when I was 12 or when I was, at the point where I remembered? And I started from that point. I wanted to be a teacher. Oh, I wanted to be this. I wanted to be that. And I said, what did I used to like to do? I used to like to skate. I bowled, shot pool. And then I went on and said, okay, what I like to do now, I make soap. And it was that first treasure map that I saw that, and I said, oh, my goodness, you are a precision person. I never knew that about me. I never knew that it was precision. And then when I looked, I saw the people. The people were on a certain side of the map, and that was the nurturing side. And I said, okay, you like people. And then I kept looking, and you go back over the map. I mean, it could be like weeks or days or whatever. The first time you do it, you may not see anything. But you keep revisiting that map, you're going to see. Then maybe a month later, did I look at that same map, and I said, oh, my goodness, I like to help people make their mark.
Beautiful. All right.
And that was a month. And I don't, you just stare at it or anything. I look at it, let it go, and I ask for guidance. I said, please help me interpret this. And then it came one day that, okay, that first treasure map was letting me know I was able to go back into the past.
Okay.
Yeah, I was able to go back and draw, so that made me feel good. It was it's very liberating. Coach, the first time I did it, I was on my way to a career day at a school, and I just sat at the edge of my bed. I said, let me do this. Let me do this. I want to do this treasure mapping. And I did it, and oh my goodness, I felt so liberated. I felt like a girl. I felt so free. And when I drew it, I said, oh, look at there. And some things I said, oh, I forgot that. I said, the shooting pool. And that's what propelled me now to go back into the bowling.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
And stuff, because I forgot how much I loved doing that stuff.
Wonderful. All right, so we got that's wonderful. I think that is, it makes a lot of sense, because we become conditioned, and I think who we really are really has a lot to do with our childhood as well, but we become conditioned, especially as adults. So we lose we lose ourselves. So that makes a lot of sense. Definitely. All right. So we have that first step. The second step was to see the vision,
Yes, validating the
Their
vision.
creativity. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Say that
Mm-hmm.
again.
The first part is clarifying your creativity, who you are. The second component is validating your vision. Okay, you see your vision. Do you believe it?
Mm-hmm.
First, declare, and I believe, I know the terms are used, interchangeably, but I believe there is a difference between declaration and affirmation. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel with validating your vision, you declare what your vision is to make that statement, and then your affirmation is say, okay, I believe it. So now I'm going to affirm, yes, I accept that that's my vision.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the second component is declaring and then affirming what your vision is.
Okay.
So we have we have to believe it. We have to once we see it, we have to believe it.
Right,
That
exactly.
that this is doable. Yeah, I can see that. Oh yeah, and not just from our head. So we have to get it into our hearts.
Excellent. All right, and so then what's next? What do we do after that? Is there anything we do after
The
that?
next, the next one is to pursue your purpose. Okay, I can clarify my creativity, and I believe it. Okay, how would I love to do it? And I'm sorry, pursuing my passion. How would I love to do? How would I love to manifest this vision? What do I love to do to get me to that point where what I see in my mind, I can manifest it in the physical world? Now that I've clarified that creativity, what do I love to do creatively that's going to propel me to believe, that's going to propel me to pursue?
Yeah, the question that they have to ask themselves is, what is it that they like to do to pursue that? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes, and also, what is it that you like to do, but also, what are your needs?
And what are your needs? Okay.
And your values, because your needs and your values are going to be very, very similar. I just realized that I need to be needed.
Right.
And,
okay.
And one of my value is a value is to serve, and then my need is to be needed. And it's one of those, okay, it works interchangeably, because it's like, okay, well, if I were not needed, then my need to be needed would go unrewarded. It would go unfulfilled, because in order for me to serve, there needs to be someone that needs me to serve them.
Exactly. Exactly. That makes sense.
You see what I mean? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So once they discover that, then what do they do next?
And then the next step is professing it. There you go, professing. Hey, this is what I want to do. This is who I am. I am saying that I am a teacher. I am a coach. You know what I mean? And not necessarily saying it verbally, but like enrolling into class, finishing a program. You know what I mean? So once I enrolled in the life coaching program, I am processing my creativity, because I've clarified it. I believe it. I believe in it because I'm taking action as far as to enroll and complete the program, because I believe this.
Right.
I am processing by way of doing.
Okay, so it's professing, like you said, it's more. Okay, so that makes sense. It's more than just saying it; it's actually doing it. That's right.
It's that old cliche: action speaks louder than words. That's the professing. Professing is more doing than saying. It's more. Yeah, it's more of an action kind of thing, than a doing. And then the last component, as far as that, is manifesting your mission.
Manifesting,
you know what I mean? Yes, you finish the program. Now you're going into the components of getting it out there, and now you're manifesting it. What you've had in your mind's eye is now you're making it into, you're bringing it into the physical world now. First, we want to clarify our creativity. Then we want to validate that vision. We want to pursue our passion. then we want to profess that purpose. We want to profess the purpose of what we've discovered. And then once we profess it, now it's all about the business of making it happen.
That's right. All right. All right. So let me ask you, what is like one of like the number one reason most people fail to succeed when they are doing in this self-discovery in this format?
I think it's fear.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fear, yeah, because I'm a strong advocate that we either do things out of love or out of fear. And even I had gotten to a point where I've been doing things and being in business since 1998, and doing that, you go through a lot of things, the different types of companies, this idea, that idea, this idea. And it got to the point with me, it was I've done so many ideas and they didn't work. My biggest fear was, oh my goodness, what if I get to my last idea and it don't work?
Mm-hmm.
That is scary.
So would you call that a roadblock as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so how would someone be able to overcome that fear, since that is like the number one thing? Like, what's one thing somebody can do to try to overcome that?
Getting into, as far as like the professing the purpose, once you enroll in class, once you put yourself out there, now you're among people like mine, you're meeting people that can mentor you, like you for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, oh no, I don't have that fear anymore. That wouldn't happen. But what I do know is that I know that I'm supported. I know that I can voice this, and I have people that can nurture me, people that will help say no and guide me in the right direction.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what makes all the difference in the world. I think the main thing is that we feel we are alone, or we feel no one will understand, or I'm too ashamed to say anything. And we've all been in the same area. You know what I mean? Nothing's new under the sun.
That's so true. That is so true. We have to step outside we have to meet people of like minds. So that is so true.
Absolutely, because once you do, like I said, of course I still have fears. I mean, you know what I mean? That's a part of, that's the human nature of us. Yes, we're divine, and yes, we're human. That human side of you is going to experience some fears. But it's one of those, okay, how do you, now you know how to handle them. You know what I mean? I know if I start getting, oh my goodness, what if I'm thinking, you get that side that says, oh, your age, maybe it's a little bit late or something, then I know to say, okay, you know what, cut that crap out. That kind of, you know what I mean?
That's right.
Before taking this class, that may have paralyzed me because I wouldn't know what to do. I would have said, you know what, you're right. Because that would be me talking with me, not knowing that that's only a component of you, kiddo, not you. That's the little bitty part of you that you can go sit down somewhere. Don't hear that mess.
That's right.
But and from you though, you see what I mean?
Oh, great! I'm glad.
That's what I mean as far as that professing. Once you start professing, it's one of those things when the person is ready, it says, and I love this, it says when the person is ready, it will appear. It will appear. The universe will open things so that you can move on in spite whatever. Like the book Susan, I forgot her name, but she said, feel fear and do it anyway. But you got to be around people that will support you, so that you're not alone, that you don't feel alone. Yeah, so fear can be paralyzing.
Fear, that's right. So are there any other roadblocks that someone should watch out for?
I think sometimes not being true to yourself. Sometimes I think we can get caught up in the positive thinking mode. And my thing is, you got to be true to yourself. If you're not feeling, you got that thinking, deal with it. Know that it is, and say, okay, I'm gonna think about it for a minute, then I'm gonna leave it. But to say, oh, it doesn't exist, that's an illusion.
Right. That's so staying true to yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If
Okay.
I feel
Okay.
like crying, I'm going to cry. If
That's
I'm
right.
upset about something, I'm going to say I'm upset. And I'm
Right.
okay with it. In the
All
midst
right.
when I was doing the and then being judgmental too. You know what I mean? To hold up.
Judgmental. Okay.
Yeah, because I was on the train and I was looking at one on the train. I saw this farm, and this farm had a whole bunch of cars, and it looked all junky. And I thought a not so good thought about that. And then I checked myself. I said, "Who are you
Mm.
to look at that picture? You don't know they could be millionaires, and
Hmm.
for you don't know that's their livelihood. Who are you to judge because they may have or how that looks? You know what I mean? So I had to check myself real quick, and then it dawned on me. I said, you know what? That's because you're always judging you. You've got to stop judging yourself so much. I'm telling you, that
That's
train
right.
trip was enlightening for me.
Wow. Like, do you normally take the train or?
You know, that's first time I've
Oh,
ever.
wow.
Oh, that was that was the first time I'd ever did anything like
So
that.
you had an awareness just by taking the train. I like that.
I really did. And of course, on the way up there, I treasure mapped like nobody treasure mapped.
Oh, wow.
And other components, though, the tools, though, with the creativity and verifying and professing and everything, I'm a real advocate. Though I have to say that it's necessary to blend in the tools of praying and meditating and
That's right.
contemplating,
Mhm.
declaring and affirming, and having an attitude of gratitude. I
All
mean,
right.
those things, those tools are I think the foundation also of the form. I call it a formula, a recipe
Hmm.
of the creativity of becoming discovering or rediscovering your self-awareness. And that's
That's
one thing about the treasure mapping that I love. I've never, I've always, meditated and prayed, and there's always different times though. You either pray or you meditate.
right.
In treasure mapping, it's simultaneous. When you're treasure mapping, you're praying because you're drawing what you want, but you're also meditating because you're going to be doing things subconsciously that after you do your treasure map, you're going to say, oh, wow, I didn't know I did that. That's a meditation. You're listening. It's a simultaneous tool of prayer and meditation. I just love it.
All right. Excellent. So what are some action steps that the listeners can take today, like starting today, once they get off this podcast? What is something that they can do starting today?
Okay, starting today, I would say start declaring,
Mhm.
start making statements. You know what I mean? You may not believe them. Like you had shared with me, and this made a difference, that 10 times 10, make a statement 10 times a day.
Hmm. Hmm.
Of
The
10,
affirmations. Hmm.
yes, 10 times, and it comes to be 100 per
Hmm.
day, 10 times 10. At first, just start saying, it's one of those. It's you, and it's okay. You're among you. You're in very good company, and that's another thing about treasure mapping. You're in the best company that you could be in yourself. And with the action steps, start doing that. The treasure mapping. Start declaring, making statements. And like I said, you may not believe them right away. Eventually, you will. You will start believing them. And spend time in solitude. I mean, it took me a minute. I mean, for years, I did not like I always wanted to go to parties and this and that, be noisy, because I had to learn that I didn't like myself. So we have to learn how to spend time in solitude, in the simplicity, because that's where we're going to gain our wisdom. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay. Hmm.
And sometimes, and that's okay too, because all of this is okay. But what makes it a beautiful thing is the self-discovery, is the awareness. It's okay if it comes to a point you say, well, I don't like being by myself because I don't like the thoughts I think or this and that. That's okay. It really is okay, because once you accept, that's another component, self-discovery and acceptance. Just like when I was judgmental about the thing, that was okay because I recognized and I checked myself. I said, That's the whole thing. That's okay.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. You're
Uh-huh.
absolutely correct. All right. So today, so that's something that listeners should start doing. They should start declaring and having
Absolutely.
creating some affirmations. Okay. And what
Hmm.
would and so is there anything else you want to share about that?
Oh, doing the declarations, and I forgot on the treasure map too. You want to put on there just I am with a line underneath that you can fill in. I
Hmm.
can and I will, and then you just
Okay.
fill that in when you're done with your treasure map. But yeah, just declaring. Even I am beautiful. I am me. Whatever. I am. Even just I am, because even I
Mm-hmm.
am a complete sentence. You don't have to
That's
add
right.
anything to that. I would say
All right.
yep, start that declaration.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. And all right. So now when somebody, if they go ahead and they begin the treasure mapping and tapping into themselves and finally, discovering who it is that they, just having a being successful at self-discovery, basically. When somebody
Mm-hmm.
when somebody does that, what would life look like for them, within, I don't know, you tell me, 30 days, 90 days, a year from now? What would life look like for someone who actually went through the process?
I would say, okay, just thinking about it for 90 days. I mean, for 30 days, I would say within that 30 days, you're going to start to believe in that declaration.
Hmm.
Within 90 days, I think you're going to start. You may not notice it right away, but eventually you're going to start noticing. My shoulders are getting straighter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my head a little bit higher. Oh, I'm walking a little bit more with some jazz or something. You know what I mean? And these are subtle things. And then in that year, because I look at myself a year ago, I would never have taken a train trip to Chicago. Heck, I've never had.
Mm-hmm.
A year ago, I did not love myself like I do now. A
Mm.
year ago, I would not have faced different things, and not major, just minor things about myself. I wouldn't have admitted it a year
Mm.
ago.
Mhm.
And today I can laugh at them. I can laugh at myself.
Mhm.
Okay. Just like I said on the train checking. I did check myself on that. I wouldn't have laughed at that. So I said, I didn't give you like another I was checking that, but I was going, But I mean, but it wasn't no big. I didn't feel guilty, and that's another. Oh yes, that's another thing.
Mhm.
I do not feel the guilt that I felt a year ago.
Okay. All
I
right.
think. I think in a year's time, after a year, I think the person will feel more liberated,
Mhm.
more
Definitely.
more accepting.
Definitely.
I think I really think so. Yeah, I would not
Okay.
need this. I hope so. Yeah.
This sounds really wonderful and exciting. So you have like a tap into you workshop, and you also you have like a what is it called? You have a dream weave success.
Yep, that's a life plan compendium. Yep, and
Okay.
those are steps with declaration and because I incorporate the Psalms, like Psalm 8 is the empowerment one, and I also align those with the base of our chakras as a Reiki
Okay.
practitioner. That
Okay.
also, I go into showing people how to visualize their chakras, to clean them, to clear them, to all of that. And it's 9 weeks, so it's a semi kind of structured program. That at the end of that 9 week, the goal is to have your life vision, your vision statement. I'm sorry, because my life is your vision statement, and then have your mission statement in 25 words or less. Because I
Okay.
thought about it's not a workbook; it's a life plan. It's a life plan, and in business class, you take a business class. What do you have to do at the end of that business? You have to have your business plan. And the classes that I've taken, they've always said you have to say you have to give your mission statement in less. If you can't say it in less than 25 words, you don't know what you're saying.
That's
and you
right.
don't know what you're doing. So at the end of the Life Plan Compendium, it's the goal is to have the person to have their vision statement and their mission statement.
Okay, so is this a class or is this like something they can download? Like, what is that exactly?
No, it's a one-on-one coaching session.
It's a one-on-one coaching session. Okay.
It's a one-on-one coaching session.
Okay.
Yeah,
and people, can they, like, how do you, is this like something you do online or over the phone, or is it only local? How do you conduct these sessions?
Oh, yes, thanks for asking. Yep, it can be online, it can be in person, or by phone, whichever is convenient for the person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited. And I just love this Tap Into You Treasure. It has just wondered.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you, like, I think on Facebook, I've seen that you had already conducted some workshops already, and it just looked really interesting, and it looked like they were really into it. That was the same kind of workshop, right? Yeah. So, yeah. Just really
Tap Into You. And you know what, Coach, I want to share this with you. I did a Tap Into You at a senior village. And I want to thank you for this because it's your instruction. I did 3 Tap Into You treasure mappings at the senior village, and the first 2, the people were phenomenal. They were really into the treasure mapping. The third group, they were not into it at all. And that was, I put it on Facebook. I said, you know what, that is a blessing in and of itself, because you have to be in life. We have to be prepared for different things, and ain't everybody going to be into what you have. However, what I thought it was such a blessing, and I want to thank you, Coach, because I learned when that happened, it was one of those, I thanked them. I did not take it personally. I asked if there was anything that they wanted to share. And I was so proud of myself because I did not crumble because I was rejected. It was an opportunity to say thank you. So now I was able to, I got past that. But it was through the whole coaching program, the self-esteem, the self-efficacy, the self-respect, all of that, dealing with that moment. Girl, I know at one point, at one time, I know that would have had me crawling up under something so happy.
I understand. I understand. Trust me. I get it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's fantastic.
Thank you. So I thank you. I really thank you.
Oh my goodness. No, I thank you. That was really fantastic. So, wow. Okay. So, this was really enlightening. I would like to thank you for joining us. Do you have anything else you want to share?
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. My website is onguidect.org, and the OnGuide is ENG as in good, AICT as in Tom.org. One word. My phone number is 313 Eastern Standard Time, 605-8220. I'm on Facebook. Just type in Anita. I think Anita C as in cat, period, Powell. Yeah, and I think that's it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. I think this was wonderful, and I really do believe that our listeners have learned a lot, because I have. I have, and I'm really serious. I'm going to go start that treasure mapping and look out for your next workshop, because I think that this is really beneficial for everyone. Even if you think you have discovered yourself, that just that first step alone really made me want to hang up and go start drawing.
Oh, sure, Coach. I'm honored. Hey, I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Coach Talk. Be sure to check out our website at www.coachtalkshow.com for previous podcasts, show notes, links, and more. This has been a Universal Coach Center production. Join us next time for another edition of Coach Talk.